The house that didn't feel empty. I used to believe that fear announces itself. That when something bad is about to happen, your body reacts clearly. Your heart races, your instincts scream, your mind knows to get out. I was wrong. Sometimes fear arrives quietly. Sometimes it blends in. Sometimes it feels like politeness. This happened a few years before COVID, when my two younger brothers were living just outside Austin, Texas. Before anything went wrong, my middle brother, Rohit, was doing his master's degree. My youngest brother, Aman, had just started college nearby. They shared a small apartment near the edge of town. Nothing fancy, but clean, quiet, and close to campus. They spent most evenings filming yoga videos. Not influencer-level stuff. No money involved. Just short clips, breathing exercises, flexibility routines, posture corrections. Rohit handled most of the planning. Aman helped with filming and editing. It gave them structure. It gave them routine. And routine, I've learned, is what makes disruption feel so violent later. They had two classmates who helped occasionally, both normal, friendly, forgettable in the best way. Then Emily joined their class. Emily, if I say she was nice, that doesn't explain anything. Lots of people are nice. Emily was available. She responded instantly. She noticed everything. She remembered things Aman himself forgot he'd mentioned. What time he usually slept. What days he skipped meals. What stressed him out. She never crossed obvious lines. That was the unsettling part. She didn't flirt. She didn't demand attention. She didn't ask for favors. She offered. She brought food to shoots, always insisting, never asking what anyone wanted. She bought a microphone one day without discussing it. A few days later, a tripod. When Rohit objected, she laughed it off. It's fine. I had one lying around. She didn't. Aman told me later that she rarely ate with them. She'd sit nearby, watching, sipping coffee or milk, asking gentle questions. How long have you been tired like this? Do you always wake up at night? Does your head ever feel heavy? At the time, it sounded like concern. In hindsight, it sounded like assessment. Small things you ignore. There were moments Aman brushed off because they were too small to argue about. Emily would sometimes touch his hair, not playfully, more like checking texture. She'd comment on his posture, even when he wasn't practicing yoga. You lean forward when you're thinking. She'd sit slightly closer each time. Nothing inappropriate. Nothing obvious. Just incremental. When Aman told me this months later, he said something that stuck with me. I never felt like she was getting closer. I felt like the space around me was shrinking. The suggestion. One afternoon, Emily complained about outdoor noise. Wind, traffic, people watching. Why don't we use an indoor space? She said. My mom has an empty floor. We could set up properly. She didn't show pictures. She didn't describe it much. But she was confident, certain. Rohit hesitated. Aman didn't. That alone still haunts me. The drive. They left around sunset. The GPS route made sense at first. Highways, service roads, familiar landmarks. Then the turns stretched longer. Streetlights became sporadic. Phone signals weakened. Aman told me later that he felt embarrassed about being uneasy. I kept telling myself I was overthinking. The house sat at the edge of a barely developed area. Not rural, not suburban. Paused. It looked lived in, but not recently changed. Like it had decided on a version of itself decades ago and refused to update. The windows were covered. Not boarded. Covered. Emily was already outside, smiling. The first instruction. As Aman stepped forward, Emily stopped him. Wait. She didn't sound serious. She didn't sound joking. She sounded precise. Go first, she said. Then quietly. Left foot. Aman laughed reflexively. Then did it. That's the moment he said something shifted. Not dramatically, but unmistakably. Like stepping into a room where a conversation had already started. Inside the house, the lighting wasn't broken. That's important. It was chosen. Low, soft, directional. Shadows where you didn't expect them. Every window was covered with thick fabric. The air felt still, despite fans running somewhere unseen. Emily led Rohit and the other two upstairs. Aman stayed behind. He told me that standing alone in that house felt wrong in a way he couldn't articulate. Not fear, anticipation. Like something was waiting to see what he'd do next. The other boy, the woman left. When she returned, she brought someone with her. A boy, roughly their age, their height, too thin, not sick-looking, not injured, just emptied. His movements were automatic, his gaze unfocused. As he stepped in, the woman corrected him softly. No, squeakheart, not that one. She adjusted his foot placement gently, like teaching a child how to walk. That's when Rohit felt cold spread through his chest. Not fear, recognition, leaving. Aman grabbed Rohit's arm. Now, he said. They walked first. Fast, controlled, silent. The moment they crossed the outer gate, they ran. They didn't stop until their lungs burned. Only then did Aman say, "If we stayed one more minute, we wouldn't have left." The call. Aman video called our mother. Mid-sentence, her voice changed. She said things she couldn't know. Then the call ended. But she called back. She didn't remember any of it. Aftermath. Aman stopped sleeping. When he did, he dreamed of enclosed spaces, closets, hallways, rooms without windows. He felt watched, not constantly, but selectively. Months later, he found a gift Emily had given him. A seal box. She'd once said, "Don't open it until I tell you." He burned it instead. What still haunts me? No one ever chased them. No one threatened them. No one forced anything. That's the worst part. Everything depended on compliance. And they almost gave it. That house didn't trap people. It waited for them to stay.